Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone to this wonderful Gita reading session. We are reading the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and we meet every Saturday or Sunday, and we are reading the Karma Yoga. Today, we are going to discuss verse number 30, and yes, and towards the end, I will have some nice announcements. So, please stay tuned till the end of the video. And yes, without wasting any further time, let's start. Before starting, I would like to offer some pranam mantras. Those who know can repeat after me. Those who don't, please try to listen very intently because listening is also very, very purifying. Please excuse me. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघते गिरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरि ओम् तत्सत्। Okay, so I'll share the screen now and we'll read verse number 30 and then we'll see what Srila Prabhupada has to say about this verse. Try to analyze it. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 verse number 30 goes like this. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः. Once again. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः. Translation goes like this. Therefore, O Arjun, surrendering all your work unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires of profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Okay, so this is the instruction which Lord Sri Krishna is giving to Arjun. Please give me 1 second. Sorry, I had not plugged in my microphone actually. So I hope the voice is much clearer now. Okay, so let's read the verse once again. I'll share my screen again and then we can go to the explanation part. Okay. Okay. So verse number 30, chapter number 3, Bhagavad Gita goes like this. मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः. Translation: Therefore, O Arjun, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires of profit, with no claim to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Okay, so this is the instruction which Lord Sri Krishna is giving to Arjun. Okay, so let's have a look at this verse, and before proceeding, we'll just try to recap that in the previous few verses, Lord Sri Krishna was speaking upon was speaking about Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, that work done without any attachment to the work and without any attachment to the results of the work. Okay, such a work is known as Nishkam Karma Yoga. So Lord Sri Krishna had spoken in the previous few verses about Nishkam Karma Yoga, and now he finally speaks something about Bhakti Yoga in this particular verse, and that we will see how. Okay, so let's try to break down this verse. We'll try to touch upon some important, points or important um, words in this verse, and then we'll try to understand. So, first thing, what Lord Sri Krishna is saying, Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya, which means surrendering your work unto me. Okay, and Adhyatma Chetasa means in full knowledge of me. Okay, so he is saying that surrender all your work unto me. Okay, and in full knowledge of me. And then he is giving three important qualities. Okay, that these three important qualities one must try to inculcate. What are these three important qualities? Nirashir, okay, which means without desires or without any profit. Okay, not thinking that, okay, if I do this thing, then what will I get in return? Okay, we have to be free from this mood actually. Okay, second is Nirmamo Bhutva. Okay, Nirmamo Bhutva means no mood for the claim of proprietorship. Okay, that I have done this or this is mine, things like that. Okay, so proprietorship should not be there. And finally Vigata Jvaraha. Okay, that means free from lethargy. Okay, laziness. So these three qualities one has to inculcate. One has to surrender all the work unto Lord Sri Krishna, and then one has to work in full knowledge of Sri Krishna. Okay, so this is what Lord Sri Krishna is instructing. Okay, and then after that, finally he says Yudhyasva. Okay, Yudhyasva means, O Arjun, fight. So basically, Sri Krishna is saying here, surrender all your work unto me. Okay, do not desire for any profit. Do not claim any proprietorship to anything. Okay, be free from lethargy, and then, O Arjun, fight for my pleasure. Okay, so this is what this verse actually speaks about. Very beautiful verse. We'll try to see what Srila Prabhupada has to say in the purport. We'll try to read that. So Prabhupada is saying, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetasa. Okay? So basically, one who understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead, okay, Lord Godhead Sri Krishna. So, and one who depends fully unto him, okay, fully on him. Such a person is known as Adhyatma Chetasa. Okay, one who understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna and depends fully upon him. So such a person is called Adhyatma Chetasa, and he is on the spiritual platform. Okay, he cannot be considered someone who is hovering on the material platform. Okay, so fully Krishna conscious person. Okay, so this is what the meaning of Adhyatma Chetasa is. And then it says Nirashi means that one has to act on the order of the master but should not expect any fructive results. Okay, a very nice point to understand. Okay, so for example, we'll try to understand with the help of an example. Let's suppose there is a servant, okay, and so when it comes to the servant, he is always busy serving the master, okay, without any expectation. Okay, if the master is pleased, yes, like he may give him something extra, okay, but servant on his part basically will never go to the master and say that, okay, look, I have done this things, so you must give me this in return. Okay, no, that is not the servant master relationship. Okay, so servant never expects anything in return, simply is busy serving the master, and such a mood is called nirashih. Okay, not expecting anything in return. So very nice example which Srila Prabhupada is giving here is that we'll just read here. Okay, the cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That this is the real purport of Mai or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called Nirmama or nothing is mine. Okay, a very nice example Prabhupada is giving. A cashier may count millions of dollars, okay, but he does not claim anything in return. Okay, doesn't claim even a cent. Okay, because he knows that nothing belongs to him. So in this way, similarly, the Krishna conscious person, okay, understands that everything belongs to Sri Krishna. Okay, nothing belongs to him or her. Okay, and then when such a person is in that kind of understanding, okay, when a Krishna conscious person has this kind of understanding, there is no proprietorship, then what is he or she supposed to do? The thought is that I am just a caretaker and nothing else. So when this mood is imbibed, when this mood goes inside, okay, what happens after that? So at that time, the purport of Mai or mine is fulfilled. Okay, he starts rendering service to Sri Krishna using everything which Sri Krishna has given to him or her, right? So he surrenders everything to the Lord. Why? Because everything belongs to the Lord. He is very clear about this fact. Okay, and that is bhakti. Okay, nirmama means nothing is mine. So in general, like when we speak to people around, there you'll find a lot of people, who will say that, okay, mera kya hai? Nothing is mine. Everything is Maya's. Sab Maya hai, illusion, right? But in reality, they are completely attached to everything around, every possible thing, person, place, animal, or thing that you can think of. They are completely attached. Okay, they are just saying all these things, say verbally. Okay, I mean that mood is not there. Okay, well, I'm talking about the common people. Okay, people who are not Krishna conscious. Um, but a Krishna conscious person, okay, a devotee, what happens to them? Okay, he understands that everything belongs to Lord Sri Krishna, and I'm just a caretaker. This body, mine means this body included. Okay, and with that mood, he executes his duty in day-to-day life, and he is not attached to anything. Okay, he does not feel that he is the proprietor of anything, that, oh, I am doing this, I am doing that, this is mine, that is mine. Okay, these kind of thought process is not there in a Krishna conscious devotee. Okay, so very nice example like we can cite is that, say for example, a person who has booked a seat on a train. Okay, so when the journey is on, what happens? He sits on that seat, he sleeps on that seat. Okay, but when the station comes, he has to get down, right? At that point of time, he cannot claim that, okay, since I have booked this seat, I'll take this seat along with me, right? That's not going to happen. Okay, this seat was given to the person only for some time to reach a certain destination. Okay, similarly, this body, okay, the people around us, the things around are given to us so that we can utilize them to reach the ultimate destination, and that ultimate destination is Golok Vrindavan or Sri Krishna himself. Okay, but then all the time we keep changing this body, okay, from one to another, like that. Why? Because we are too attached to all the things. Okay, and in this way, once we keep changing the body, we keep changing the destination also, from one destination to another, right? And what are we doing in this process? We are giving up our current attachments. When you give up this body, all our current attachments are gone along with it. Okay, and then we go somewhere else and then get attached to people, places, things over there, right? So this cycle is going on and on and on, right? So in this way, we can say that a person who is Krishna conscious, he fully understands that nothing in this entire universe belongs to me. Okay, and I'm not the proprietor of anything, right? So whatever they have, they try to utilize in the service of Sri Krishna. Okay, so this is the meaning of nirmama. Okay, then we'll continue. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigata Jwara or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Okay. So there is no question of lethargy here. Okay, when there are different, these are different points which Lord Sri Krishna is mentioning. Okay, till now, and then he tells Arjun, okay, that oh Arjun, yuddhasva, okay, fight for my pleasure. So this verse, Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 verse number 30 is very nicely, it very nicely resonates with verse number 45 of the second chapter, okay, where it is said, Tragunya Vishayad Veda Nistragunyo Bhavarjuna, right? Which means that, oh Arjun, come above the three modes of material nature and just execute your duties. And we see that this particular verse also is saying the same thing. Okay, Krishna is asking Arjun to come above the three modes of material nature and execute your duties. So one may ask how, right? He has not mentioned anything about the three modes of material nature here in this verse. Then how can we compare these two verses? These are two seemingly very different verses. But if we have a closer look, okay, if we try to read between the lines, then we will come to know that it's one and the same thing which Lord Sri Krishna is trying to convey here. Okay, let's see how. So here Lord Sri Krishna says in verse number 30, chapter number 3, Adhyatma Chetasa. Okay, first thing we learned of Adhyatma Chetasa. What is Adhyatma Chetasa? Means full knowledge of me. Okay, full knowledge of Atma and Paramatma. So any knowledge pertaining to Atma and Paramatma can be considered to be in the mode of goodness. Okay. Second, he is speaking Nirashir Nirmamo Bhutva. Nirmama, right? Which means without any expectation of profit or proprietorship. Okay. Nirashir without expectation of profit. Nirmamo without claiming any proprietorship. Okay. Nothing is mine. Okay. That kind of an attitude. So both profit and proprietorship are in the mode of passion. Okay, so Adhyatma Chetasa, we saw that it is in the mode of goodness. Nirashir Nirmamo Bhutva is in the mode of passion. Okay, giving up the mode of passion. And finally, Vigata Jwara, lethargy. Okay, which is in the mode of ignorance. So basically, what Sri Krishna is saying that Arjun, you are just stuck in these three. Okay, either in the mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. Okay, so come above these three modes in full knowledge of me. And then in the end, he adds one very beautiful line, okay, which makes this entire verse perfect. He says, surrendering everything unto me, right? That means this is a very important line and a very beautiful line, as I said, right? And the line actually brings the person above the three modes of material nature. Okay, so once we rise above the three modes of material nature, what happens? We come to the mode of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. Okay, we come to that mode. Okay, and when a person is in the mode of pure goodness or when he is in Shuddha Sattva, okay, then it can be called as Bhakti Yoga, right? So just by adding this particular line, surrendering everything unto me, Sri Krishna has converted the entire Nishkam Karma Yoga section into Bhakti Yoga. Such beautiful verse is this. So what is Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga means the detached work performed solely for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Okay, nothing else. So whenever we have this, this goal basically that okay, I have to give pleasure to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Okay, then that is called bhakti yoga. So in this way, we have to understand that Lord Sri Krishna is telling Arjun, okay, that give up all these things and just work for my pleasure. Okay, this is what the essence of this verse is. Okay, very important point Prabhupada is making here. We'll try to read again. So this verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so what is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? Working for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Okay, this is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. We'll continue. Duties must be carried out with the dependence on Sri Krishna, but that is because that is the constitutional position of every living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of a living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Okay, what is our constitutional position? Eternal constitutional position. Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. Okay, Nityadas, right? We are eternal servants of Sri Krishna, which means we have to serve Sri Krishna. Okay, that is our eternal constitutional position, right? Now we have to understand, to serve Krishna means what? Okay, we have to understand that Sri Krishna's desire, basically. Okay, we need to understand Sri Krishna's desire and we need to execute the same. Okay, without any questioning or without any hesitation, basically. Okay, when Vasudev was in prison, right? Devaki and Vasudev, they were chained, okay, in the prison. Heavy chains were all over their body, okay. And in that situation, Lord Sri Krishna appeared as the eighth child of Devaki, okay. When he appeared, it was raining heavily outside. Yamuna was, overflowing like anything. There were huge guards, guarding the 9 or 10 gates which were there, outside that prison where Devaki and Vasudeva were kept. Correct? And in that situation, when Lord appeared, he instructed Vasudeva that take me to Gokul, to the house of Nand Maharaj. Put me there and bring their daughter to along with you. Okay, this kind of an instruction. See, any ordinary person in that scenario, maybe a person like me, right? He would have questioned back, Krishna, what are you talking about? Okay, just look outside. It's raining so heavily. Okay, Yamuna River is at an all-time high. Nine on the 9 gates, there are so many, several strong, well-built guards who are standing outside. Okay, I'm completely chained. Okay, with these iron chains. I'm not even able to move my hands and legs properly. How do you expect me to take you to Gokul? Right? Any normal person would have spoken like that. But did Vasudev do that? No. Vasudev, without questioning, without uttering a single word, he simply started putting his hands forwards to pick up the baby Krishna, okay, just to carry out the instructions which he had given. That is Vasudev consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. To understand what Krishna desires and do just that, without any questioning. Okay, so this is what the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is. This is what Srila Prabhupada is talking about. Okay, we are subordinate to Krishna's desire. Okay, that is what is mentioned here. So we'll continue reading. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord, and at the same time discharge the prescribed duties without claiming any proprietorship. Okay. So we see in this particular verse, like in this entire section, right from chapter 1 till now, okay, what we are discussing. Okay. See, one thing is clear, that Arjun was not interested in fighting at all. Okay. He was giving n number of reasons for not fighting. Okay. And we have seen all those in the previous chapters, previous verses. Why? Because he was attached to so many people, there. He was looking at someone as his grandfather, he was looking at someone as his teacher, he was looking at someone as his brothers, okay, and brother-in-laws, and so many, relations were there. All the family members basically were standing against him in the fight, right? So he was not interested in fighting. And then, after some time, when we'll see that when Krishna has delivered this entire Bhagavad Gita, he started fighting for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, and by doing so, he became a great example for many people to come. Okay, So we have to sacrifice, in a nutshell, we need to understand that we have to sacrifice many things for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Okay, and we shouldn't feel any hesitation, for doing that. Okay, never. We should not hesitate in doing that at all. Okay, we have to sacrifice our ego. We have to sacrifice our attachments. Okay, and in this way we can come closer to Sri Krishna. It is not that by our sacrifices Krishna is getting benefited. No, right? We are getting benefited by practicing bhakti, correct? Because we are going to break the cycle of life and death, okay, birth and death. We are going to go back to our eternal home, back to Sri Krishna, okay? So who is getting benefited here? We are, right? So in this way, we have to understand that we have to be very innovative, okay, so that every activity of ours can be used in the service of Krishna and can be converted into Krishna conscious activity. The mood has to be changed. Okay. The mood shouldn't be that I am going to work for any profit, or neither I am going to. The mood should be that I am not going to work for any profit, and neither I am going to claim any proprietorship on what I have done, so far, or what I am going to do. Okay. On any work, basically, I am not going to claim any proprietorship. Everything belongs to Sri Krishna, so everything will be used in the service of Sri Krishna. That should be. I'm only going to work for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. That should be our mood, while executing any work or any duty. Okay. Now, having said all this, Sri Krishna is going to tell us, that if one follows these instructions, if one does everything what Sri Krishna has said right now, okay, what are they going to get? Okay, so we will see that in the next video, and I hope you like the session. And yeah, so this is what verse number 30 was all about. Now, as I had said in the beginning of the video, that there will be some announcement towards the end. So a very nice announcement, and I feel very, very happy to let every one of you know that this year also the Kannamangala Bhakti Center of ISKCON Whitefield is carrying out their own Rath Yatra, and that's going to happen on the 5th of July, 2:30 p.m. onwards. Okay, so I'll be sharing all the details on my Instagram channel. Okay, Abhinava Gauranga. Please go try to subscribe to that channel. Okay, try to follow that channel because you will be getting all the updates there. All the details related to this Rath Yatra are already there. Okay, and please, it's my humble request to all the devotees who are watching this video, who are in Bangalore and who are staying in and around Kannamangala. Okay, please try to join this great festival, without fail, where the Lord of the universe himself comes out, so that he can give darshan to all the devotees around. Okay, it's a very, very big celebration. For last uh, 3 years, I think we have been doing so, and every time it has been a grand celebration, and this time also we are targeting for the same. Okay, although there is a slight change in the venue this time, but the enthusiasm, the crowd, and the celebration is going to be the same. Okay, so for the details, please go to my Instagram channel. Okay, Abhinav Gauranga. You can also visit the Instagram handle of ISKCON Whitefield or ISKCON Kannamangala. Okay, so you will find all the details there. And I am very glad to say that this time we organized, ISKCON Whitefield organized 4 different Rath Yatras. Okay, starting from 27th, 28th, and then finally, on the 5th of July, we are doing it. So it's a very big occasion. Okay, so please, requesting all the devotees staying in and around Kannamangala, please join along with your families without fail. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this session. And yeah, of course, like some of you might be having a lot of questions. Okay, so please feel free to post your questions in the comment section. Okay, or if you want a more personalized interaction with me, then you can join the WhatsApp group. The link to the WhatsApp group is given in the description box below. Okay, once you join the WhatsApp group, I think you can just post your question there. I am a part of that group, so you can have a more personalized interaction. Like from one question, you can go to another, you can have a discussion over there. Okay. And if I feel that the questions that anyone is asking, if it's a very generic one, that means such a question is in the minds of a lot of people, okay, then I will make a video out of it. So please go through the chapters also. Please read the Bhagavad Gita daily, okay. It should not be skipped even for a single day. And just feel free to post your questions, okay, and join the WhatsApp group also. So we'll meet again next week, hopefully if time permits, because we will be very busy preparing for the Rath Yatra also. So let's see. I'll keep you all posted, whether we'll be continuing the session next week, or maybe we'll be postponing it to next week. Okay. Till then, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.